G'day and welcome back to the 311 build. Geez, she's a long one, but hopefully this is going to be the second last video in the series. Yay, we're getting there. So we are actually we've been up to this step for about 2 weeks now. Step 28, assembling the seats and assembling the interior. So really need that for the minute. So I've assembled the seats. You see I fixed up the paint. I painted the side rails there green and coloured in the brown at the back of the cushion there. Like I mentioned in the last video, the main seats, the passenger seat just gets all glued together in one unit like this. The seat frames, you've really got to take notice which way they go. So you've got two long legs and two short legs. Without test fitting anything, I just had it in my head that the short legs either go to the front or the back of the chair. No, they go to the side, because where they go into the tub, your tub is curved where these two bosses are, and they're shorter than the inside ones. So your passenger seat, the passenger seat in this car, it'll be the driver's seat in an Australian car, but let's just say the right hand seat gets that. This is pretty cool. That, see a tab there, that's got the number for the actual part on the part itself, so that when you cut them off the tree you can't mix them up, which is super cool and kind of sticks out there. You don't see the number, but you could say that's a like a seat adjuster maybe, so that's a nice touch. So yeah, your right hand seat, the short legs go to the outside, so keep that in mind, and don't glue them on the wrong side because they won't go. The driver's seat, or the left hand seat, just gets the base glued onto the cushion, and the back sits into these holes back here. So that's pretty simple. Now, we were talking in the last video about painting over areas that need gluing. All I've done is scraped away the paint where the glue needs to go on all of the parts. It's as simple as that. If you think about a normal static plastic model like a car or something like that, anything with chrome parts, or even well, you can't really say the Tamiya chrome parts because they all get screwed together, but the static model kit, chrome parts that need to be glued, you still have to scrape off that chrome for the glue to bond. It's no different here. Just scrape off the paint. It's not a big deal. So the other things we have to install in here are the gear shift. Well, there's two gear shifts. One will be for your standard gearbox, and the other one will be, I'm thinking this is supposed to be a four-wheel drive car, or maybe one's a handbrake, or I don't know. And then you got your foot pedal that goes down into the footwell down in here. You can see the bench is a bloody mess. We just have shit everywhere. So I've assembled the windscreen surround. I painted around the where the windscreen seal is supposed to go. That's just all taped together now, and I'm just going to leave that at least overnight for that glue to set. So but we're not going to need that anytime soon. What else have we done? Headlights, I painted the inside silver. They're ready to get the lenses put in. All the parts on the trees that needed to be black, I've just sprayed them on the tree, and I'm going to just, if the where we cut them off, if that gets exposed when the part's actually on the car, I'm just going to touch them up. That's the steering column, which will need to be cleaned out because there's paint in there where the glue needs to go. We sprayed these with the airbrush. I've got to spray all our cars with steering wheels have brown steering wheels. So I think I'm going to have to stick with that theme. So the spokes they'll be black, and the outside of the wheel will be brown. But the steering wheel can't go in until we build the driver figure, which we're probably going to do last, I think. As for the body, yeah, I reckon we'll get to the body in this video. So I haven't showed you assembling any of this stuff. It's really simple, straightforward stuff, just gluing stuff together. So plus I just wanted to do it in peace and quiet on my own, without having to worry about talking and explaining things and messing things up. So enough blabbing on. Oh, the fire extinguisher, it's painted lovely red. We got to paint this middle band, the olive green, the TS28, which we don't have any, so we're going with the olive drab, this one. And then I'll paint the handle probably silver, and then the hose black. So we'll have to detail that. That's got to go in. I think I'm gonna put all these small details in before the seats go in. Might make it easier to get to. So I'm gonna put all this together. That'll be the interior done, more or less done. We have a few accessories on the printer that are going to go into this car, so it's going to make it just that little bit extra special. So the roof, I'm going to explain later what I'm doing with the roof, but for now let's get this together and we'll bring it back. Right, interior assembled. Looks pretty sparse in there. I have had it sitting in the body. It does look good, but there's a lot of room there. So, well, you weren't supposed to see these yet. Real professional. You're going to see them in a minute. Yeah, that's it. Interior done. Thanks for watching. So, something else I did with the body. Well, we put our fuel tank cap in, and we painted the tail lights with the black. And we've also actually got Zach to paint that pintle hook for me. He did alright. The only thing we did with the body, so the roof, the instructions tell you to screw the roof down on the back and then join it up with the windscreen at the front. There you go, that's better. At the front with double-sided tape on this area here. But I want to be able to take the roof off to see everything inside, you know, when it's on display. I just want that option. Now, I noticed the other day, this, you're not going to see it with all that stuff in the background, but these parts here of the body are actually bent so that the front is sitting over this way. That makes it dramatic, but it straightens up when it's on the interior and actually sitting on the car. So yeah. Anyway, back to the roof. I also painted the gauges in there black. Don't know if I'm going to bother coming in and trying to do all the white and silver and for the actual needles and stuff. That's a little bit fiddly for me. So you right, mate? Mm-hmm. Old gunk boy over here. Yeah, back to the roof again. They're telling you to screw it down, but like I said, I want the option to remove it. So these are 2x6 machine screws to thread into these holes. I drilled these out to 2mm. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's waiting for the printer. I drilled them out to 2mm, and I super glued the 2x6 screws into the roof, and then just touched up the screws with the green, and that's just going to locate like that, so that when the windscreen surround goes in, and the roof can hold the surround in place while the glue's drying. The glue gets put all the way along here. So once the glue's set, we should be able to just pop that off and chuck it back on, and nothing's going to move around, and it should be fine. Obviously, if you're going to run these cars, you'd have to screw that down, because that's the first thing that's going to come off in it. So that's just my little idea on that. What else have we done? Bugger all, really. We've been here for hours and nothing's done. So now that print's done, we are going to go away and do some other things. Yeah, yep, okay, so we'll bring you back when we've got more stuff done. So the body is almost complete. The interior is glued into the body. It's still setting, but I can very carefully just pick it up and move it around. And the interior turned out really nice. Headlights and protectors, I guess, that are on there. I've got to do a bit of a touch up on one of them. Still got to put the jerry cans on the back, and still deciding on how to actually fix them because these locators don't line up as I showed earlier. The windscreen and roof still need to go on, as does the driver. Now I still have to glue the mirror onto the windscreen, but we got something a bit special turning up for that, so I can't mount the windscreen until that turns up, which is okay because, like I said, the roof isn't getting permanently fixed anyway, so when all our stuff turns up for this for these other features, that can just get glued into place. But the interior, now, it's okay if the interior is glued in first. You actually, in the book, it tells you to do this in the same step, but you can still get your driver in there with the interior glued in, so don't panic about anything there. Obviously we still have to paint the driver. I think that's going to be in the next video. There might be a bit involved in that, or probably not, I don't know. But this interior, looking at it, even with the windscreen on, and even with the roof on, it still looks a bit sparse inside there. So we printed off a few accessories for Dude to carry around. Got a few ammo boxes. Now everything we've done is just going to get stuck in with double-sided tape, so we can throw in a few around here randomly, I guess, since nothing's really tied in. It can just sort of roll around. Printed off a first aid kit, so that will set up in the parcel shelf up there. Now there's no radio inside these cars, so we can't get around with Eddie's tunes. Check this out, we printed off this old 80s style boombox, we used to call them. I love the details on this. You got your EQ, you even got your direction arrow for the tape. So yeah, I reckon that's a nice touch. They can get stuck up underneath the parcel shelf there, or on the parcel shelf as well. Once everything's stuck in, I can pick it up and give you a good look around on it. An esky, and I hinge the lid, and there's actually 24 cans in there. Obviously need to be painted and detailed, but that can probably sit there because looking at the box, it does say, wherever the box is, there, combat support vehicle. Whereas a fast attack vehicle was a fast attack vehicle, wasn't it? It was there to, it's even got the gun on it, you know. This is a combat support vehicle, so it's there to support the combat vehicles, isn't it? Or the soldiers. So I figured he can bring spare ammo, he can bring a first aid kit, he can bring refreshments, they don't have to be beer, and he can bring a bit of music for when they've got a bit of downtime, I guess. I was going to try and print more stuff and stick it in there, but I think that's just going to be too much. So I'm going to go and stick all these parts in, and I'll bring it back when I can actually show you around and give you a good look. So here's a painting tip from a professional amateur. So we had to prime all of these 3D printed parts because they were printed in black, and that's got to go white and all sorts of stuff, and light colours don't like spraying over black. Now I have this, but there was probably about this much paint left in it, so trying to spray over the top of these, it just wasn't going to work with a nearly empty can. So tape all your parts down. You can hold your box upside down, your paint board, Then you can hold your can upright and use every last bit of the paint in that can. How cool does that little stereo look? That's going to look awesome sitting in that car. So there you go. Another quick paint tip from a professional amateur. There you go. There's all the bits stuck in there. I really like that old 80s style stereo, old tape deck. I did it in the two-tone. I did it with silver first, and then the grey. You can probably just tell, but that's how they were back in the day. They were kind of a two-tone setup, and once dude's in there, he can blast away his Van Halen as he's going out to see the troops, and I'll give him a cold beer. So let us know in the comments if you think we could put any other features on the car. Would have really liked to put a spare wheel on the back, but that's going to be too hard, I think. What do you think? This is just enough. So I'm going to stop playing with this and let the glue dry properly, and probably just sit back and look at it for a bit. Oh, one other thing. These straps here for the headlight protectors, I guess. You might have better luck with yours, but mine were just that little bit deformed, and this side couldn't. It just didn't want to sit in the locator hole. So I basically just glued it where it wanted to be, and I'm going to come in later and touch up that bit. This one wasn't too bad, but yeah, just keep an eye out for that. Like I said, you mightn't have an issue with yours. And also, like I mentioned, the body was sort of warped over that way a bit. The interior does straighten it up a bit. Let me just get this windscreen in position. That actually went together quite easy. I just came around, once it's all together, I just came around it with the masking tape to clamp it all. And where's my roof? Up here. So once it's all sitting in where it wants to, the body is still a little bit off. You can tell by the corners of the roof there, but once that's all glued in, we can just take the roof off to whatever, look at it or drive it around or whatever. I keep saying I'm going to drive it, and if we do, it's going to be very, very light, because it is so fragile. I've knocked the back of this seat a couple of times now, mucking around with the interior, and you can just hear the glue cracking every time. It's still on there. I just don't want to touch it anymore. But yeah, I reckon it wouldn't take much for that to come off. Okay, well, I'll get dude out of the way and give you another look around. But, yeah, I quite like it, especially that that stereo and that first aid kit. I reckon that was a nice touch. Now we still have to paint the steering wheel, but there's not much in that. Put dude together now. We got to put the steering wheel in, put fella in there, and put his arms on to suit the steering wheel, and then we can take him out and paint him. The mirror for the rear view mirror, I should say, and the outside mirrors, again, we're waiting for something to turn up for that, and that is it. That is the car finish. So all that is going to be in the next video, and we might even see it running around with the FAB. What do you reckon? Alright, thanks for watching, thanks for your support. Oh, these we can't go yet. These orange indicators up here, I didn't glue them in. I did the same trick I used on the sand scorcher, where I just covered the back part of the lens with the orange paint, and really built it up thick and put it in the hole wet. And once the paint dries, the idea is the paint just acts as the glue, holds it in there, and it ends up orange. It did get a bit messy, but yeah, they turned out alright. Didn't bother painting any more lights in the rear. It doesn't even tell you to do that. Fuel tank cap is in. That's what it is. I think it is. Still might later on come in and do a bit of detailing on these on our cans in our esky. I was thinking too, got silica gel, they're little white balls. Thinking I'll just pour that in to make it look like ice. But we'll get to that when we get to it. So, enough talking. Thanks for watching, thanks for your support. We are close to the end. Have a great day. Bye.